started in just a bit, everybody. What's with the ads? We don't like ads. All right. All right. I think we are good to go. We have all of the links posted on Instagram and Twitter. We're live. Welcome back to another live stream, building a Bitcoin mobile app, session 13. And I feel really good. We're watching Simulacra. I'm Bryson. I feel really good. I feel like this is going to be a good live stream. I am somewhat parched and dehydrated, even though I did not go on a run today, which there's still time left in the day, but I don't really have the gear to run at night. And there's not a lot of light and street lights on this sidewalk right here. So that's probably a no-go. But in general, I'm feeling good. Back to be on live stream. I think I'm going to live stream also again in the morning to finally really finish up this app, this MVP. We have been working on it for about a month now, and it's pretty much done. So today, in last session, we went over the pay button, requests, and invoices and implemented the flows for all of these. Today, we have to make sure that the point of sale is up and running and users are able to create a point of sale store where they can upload different products and set prices for different products. You can create a cart so we can, pick out things in a shopping cart, and then the merchant will be able to charge the customer for their products, and the customer can pay in Bitcoin, whether they be on-chain or on the Lightning Network. So cool. So we're pretty much almost done. When we get done with this point of sale, now there will be just a bunch of testing. So we do have tests written in after we implement the features, but we need to make sure that everything is working how we want it to, using, at first, token Bitcoin, test token Bitcoin, on the test net, and then on the main net with real live Bitcoin. First, we'll be testing to see if we can actually connect our Lightning and Bitcoin wallet. I'm probably going to do all of the testing offline because it might be somewhat boring to just watch me go through things over and over and over again. And then also with testing and connecting wallets, I might have to bring up my hot wallet, or not my hot wallet, my cold wallet on stream, and I always get a little bit hesitant whenever I'm dealing with private keys and things and recording that. So I'll probably do all the testing for these features offline, but overall, we are pretty much done. We are getting to the finish line. We will implement the point of sale, and then we need to make sure that the activity works, and the only way to make sure that activity works is to test these payment features to see if they show up in activity. And then after that, it's just, pretty simple stuff, documents. We're not going to have any API keys right now. This is going to be coming soon, probably. Anything in the business profile, and then anything in the settings, we'll just set and configure some of those. But those are, housekeeping, hour or two level task. The main task that we need to finish are all of our features, mainly point of sale today. So I'm going to talk to ChatGPT. I'm going to put back on some music. We're going to catch a vibe. I'm probably going to do the point of sale today, and then that will be the stream. And then I will stream in the morning with having tested all of these features. Now we can pretty much get to, deploying this app. So I'm pretty excited. I want to have this app out pretty soon. I said it was going to be Friday, but, it did not come out Friday. I know I am failing the tech gods, but it'll be out soon. MVP will be out soon. And not for nothing, I think I want to say, when was the first live stream? When was the first live stream? Let's go to YouTube Studio. Let me see. Here, live. Let's go down. May 19th. Okay, so we are pretty much almost at a month and a week about, and we're pretty much almost done with this mobile app. So like, I don't really hate, in the grand scheme of things, a month launch on a mobile app build. If it takes us 6 weeks to launch, that's a pretty good runway for a launch. So I feel pretty happy about a 6-week ideation to implementation and building to launch. I feel like that shows that I'm pretty diligent. If you're launching mobile apps, like whole payment processing mobile apps in the span of 6 weeks, with the technical prowess that it takes to set up the system architecture for a Bitcoin payment processing mobile app, I think I'm going to get a position. So I'm going to stop babbling. I'm going to cut the music back on, and we're going to get back into this mobile app build. So I hope all of you enjoy today's video, and let's get into it. So let me switch over to this screen over here. Let's bring this down and let's begin. All right, where is... There we go. All right, let me make this bigger. Let me make this bigger. Cool. Why does that look like that? It looks so weird. Why is it so big? Huh. It's so odd. It's so odd. It doesn't usually look like this. This is usually way smaller. All right, well, that's fine. Slightly weird, but I want y'all to be able to see this. All right, let's get back to it. Let's build this thing. I don't know why that's like that. All right, let's build this thing. I will see y'all on the flip side. Let's get some music rolling, and let's get to it. All right, I definitely think that this is going to be the most difficult part of testing because I need to make sure that a custom generated code and URL slash QR code is generated for each user that has a store. So right now the flow is a user comes on to the app, they create an account, and when an account is created, it creates a store for them. Inside of that store, they have the different payment features that you would have in any store. Payment, point of sale. You can send invoices. You have a pay button or request if it's a digital store, like this one is. And so I need to make sure with this payment button that this QR code, if I come over here and show you the pay button screen on BTC Pay Server. Where did my OBS go? There's a fuck ton of details to configure when you're setting up this pay button store. And so I am balancing giving the user a good amount of flexibility and optionality when they are choosing their settings, but also making sure that the aesthetics adhere to a kind of a mobile app framework, in that you don't want all this shit on a mobile app. It's just too much. And so I'm considering how I'm going to have the generated code that is going to be requested back to my app, and then also this QR code. I think those are going to be pretty easy. I think the generated code, maybe it's some sort of link, but then again, it's not that much code, so I can easily just do a copy code, and probably just copying it will copy it from BTC Pay Server. But again, this payment button I can see is going to be the most trickiest thing. Right now, I think the agent is getting a hold of it, but I'm not sure how I want to implement this, and I'm definitely probably going to do a lot of testing offline to make sure that this works. All right, my agent said that it fixed the payment button. The main problem was that the fixed amount and the custom amount were different. Fixed amount was customer chooses, and custom amount was you choose. But now we have them reversed. All right, so I think that looks good. Custom amount is something you can, all right, I will add in that because that is static later. So I'm just making sure that all of these are set up when we actually connect the backend with BTC Pay Server, and we have our API for this mobile app calling the BTC Pay Server and to Supabase. I'm gonna make sure that all of this becomes dynamic, because I'm pretty sure I also will have to make a table in Supabase for all of these stores. But I like how it's looking right now. I wonder if this is a little bit too much for a mobile app, but I don't think it is. I mean, once a person's inside of this on the mobile app, I think it will be fine, especially because you're not having to constantly do this. And you can just update the pay button and save it as you so choose. All right. So that's fine and good to go. Next, we are going to add in the point of sale. So the point of sale is going to be a little bit more dynamic. So the QR code is, let me go to it on BTC Pay Server. So if I go back to the pay button, so BTC Pay Server is the payment processor for Bitcoin that I am using as a infrastructure for this application. So my application will call to my Supabase database, and then my database calls to BTC Pay Server to use some of these functions. So like for the pay button, if I go down here, this generated code is what a person can actually implement on their website. So like the HTML website. So if I went to, I don't know, ChatGPT here, and I had access to change the ChatGPT website, I can implement this code somewhere in the website, and it would say this preview. It would have this pay button right here. And then the QR code is the actual QR code where I can go and pay for the transaction. So you have this QR code, or if a person presses preview it BTC Pay and pay with BTC Pay here, it'll take them to a QR code. And so that's just a QR code to your address. Well, no, your address is down here. This is just a QR code for the transaction. So each transaction gets its own QR code. And if you open this up, like if you took a picture of this, you would be able to send me any amount of Bitcoin you want. If I go back, and then if I change this to a custom amount, and I change it to $10, and then I say pay with BTC Pay, I preview it. Now, if you were to take a picture with your phone, you could either pay me on chain with Bitcoin or through the Lightning Network, and you would be paying me $10 worth of fiat, which is 0.0001 Bitcoin, and that is what the QR code is for this transaction. And then my address in general for my public address is right here. So that is how the QR code works. And so the problem with that is that I need to make sure that my app is actually requesting the correct QR code from each person's store. So if I go over here up to the left, I have some stores that I've created that are just like fake stores basically. Hachisu is the main store. And so each time a user comes onto this mobile app, their store will appear here. I've just been created stores for all the cities in Georgia. And so I need to make sure that this generated code matches each store, because I don't want other users having access to other users' QR codes. It's not like a security risk in that somebody can steal your funds or anything. It's just that like if the QR codes are getting mixed up and I have a pay button that says, you know, it's fixed to pay me $100 and it's mixed up with somebody else's pay button that's only 10, then that would be bad for the end user, because you just accidentally paid $100 in Bitcoin because my application fetched the wrong QR code. So I'm going to need to do a lot of testing with that. I can foresee that being a definite problem. whereas the payment link is not as much of a problem. Let me go to the payment link here because it's just a link and we're just creating a request. So if we go to payment request, let's go over to BTC Pay server and we create a request over here. All it is giving us a link, like a URL link. And it's really hard to fuck up a URL link when we create it. But QR codes and generated codes, whole generated codes, I feel like that could easily get messed up, especially because this code gets longer depending on if you use a fixed, custom, or slider. So if I use a custom, because I'm adding more data, for instance, the code's going to be longer. So you can see. So yeah, that's going to be a problem. Well, not a problem, but I need to make sure that it's not a problem by testing it, making sure I have some fail safes and things like that. All right, so next, I think we are, let me see, let's bring off BTC Pay server, put that over here. All right, so I think we have all of this good to go for right now, the generated code and everything. I'm going to do that all later so I can set up the actual backend. But next is point of sale, and I'm going to model this again after the BTC Pay point of sale. If I go to BTC Pay and I go to point of sale on the left over here, boom. All right. So basically you can create a new app name. So I could just name it like test app. And it creates a digital store for you. So it has a product list, it has a keypad, it has a print display, everything that you would see if you went to any store, ordered some ice cream on the iPad, and they have all the different flavors and ice cream and stuff. You can edit the products, so they just have, pretty common products right now, herbal tea and green tea and shit. But you can add your items, and then over here you would just say the title, the ID of it. You can upload a file. I don't know for right now for the MVP. I'm going to let people upload files just because that's more data that I have to take care of. And in the long run, it definitely will be a better user experience to be able to let users upload an image. But for MVP, I'm just trying to get it out. We can add that later. So we can close that. So we're going to be doing this point of sale part now next. I'm trying to see how many I think I want to do this in two different iterative processes. I want to just do this first half first, and then we'll get into the actual product editor because that has to do with some code, which is fine. All right, cool. And then taxes, redirects. I think these are all fine. We'll do all that later. But yeah, for right now, we're going to add in the product list and the product list with the cart. And these are actually different because if I just check on keypad, I forgot it's literally just typing in exactly what the USD print display. Disable zero amount invoices. I don't know if I'm going to have keypad. I don't know if I'm going to have keypad. And then print display. All right. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Point of sale is going to be weird because it's really the most dynamic outside of the invoices. But creating an invoice is extremely easy for a script. All right. I'm going to cut on the music, vibe, and chat with ChatGPT again. come up with a prompt for implementing this point of sale feature. I'm probably not going to finish it today because I'm actually getting kind of tired. I've been on him for an hour. It's like 10 Eastern time. But we're going to finish this point of sale, at least the static point. And then in the morning, I am going to test all of it offline. And then I'm going to, like on a test net. And then I'm going to test it on the main net. And then I'm probably going to get on stream and then take all of you through pretty much the final app. I mean, really testing to see if both of these orange lights come on. That means your Bitcoin on-chain and Lightning wallet are connected. And then once your Bitcoin and Lightning wallet are connected, I've got some test token Bitcoin and some real Bitcoin that I can use to create some invoices and see if I can pay this store with some Bitcoin. And I don't mind using real Bitcoin to test because I would be paying myself in Bitcoin. The only problem is I would be using some Bitcoin I would be losing some to the networking fees, which is why I will not be using real Bitcoin until I know this shit works. So I will be working on the test net. But the problem with working on the test net is that like the shit will work completely fine on the test net, and then you get on the main net and it doesn't work, and now you lost money. So I'll just be paying like, dollar amounts. But I think we're good to go. So let's cut back on the music. Let's vibe, get back into it. And then I'm going to close out for tonight. All right, let's go.
I've always loved exploring someplace new.
No advertisements, please. I think we're going to end this live stream here for today because I am getting mad tired, TBH. I think I'm going to go Raggy Scooby-Doo and then go to bed. But I feel pretty good about where we have ended for right now. I am not going to go through and make sure that I can save this product and actually create a product list right now. I'm going to do that offline, but it looks like a good setup. I want to see if I want to remove some of these words. It's just a lot for a mobile app, and I feel like it creates a lot of clutter. But other than that, I really like how all of the features have come out. So it's really just a matter of testing the features, connecting my on-chain and Lightning wallets, and then connecting all of these features, and then really making sure that users can add a product. And these products will form a product list that should be under add a product. I'll play with this a little bit more. And then also for when users press product list with cart, they can click multiple products and it forms an actual cart. So those are going to be two really big tests, the product list with cart and the pay button with the QR code and link differences that I was talking about earlier. But I feel like we're in a pretty good place. I will probably be back on tomorrow to live stream. Tomorrow is Thursday. And then Thursday evening, I am going to an event at the Atlanta Blockchain Center. So I think that will be fun to meet some fellow Bitcoiners and blockchainers in the city. So I hope you all enjoyed today's live stream. It is late. I am going to go get some ice cream and vibe out. I appreciate you all for joining in. I appreciate my guy Lit Dingo for asking a few questions. I appreciate you immensely. Remember to like, subscribe, ask any questions in the comment section if you have any questions about AI, Bitcoin, Web3, printing money, game theory, anything. This is a community of like-minded people who know that we are inside of the simulacra and are just trying to exist as good agents inside of the matrix. Again, I'm Bryson. I appreciate all of you. Let me stop bullshitting off on here. I'm out. I'll see all of you later. Let's put on some more music and vibe out to end it. Bye, everyone.